Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in. This is actioncorp TV, episode number 2. Tonight it's Chris, Sean, and Craig in the director's booth. And we've got a kind of a short show for you tonight. We're going to do 30 minutes, but we're going to try to cut down on the number of topics so that we don't go a little overboard and run over. So, cutting right to it, let's go ahead and get to our first topic tonight, which is my new DVD player. I purchased this weekend an Apex DVD AD1100W DVD player. And why did I buy a DVD player? I bought this particular one because of the 3 things that it did for me. It has 3 major features that make it, I think, the best DVD player you can buy. A, it is extremely inexpensive, $70 at Walmart. B, it plays everything. It plays VCDs, SVCDs, DVD, DVD-R, CDRW, CDW, or CDR. It'll even play CDR discs with a mix-mosh of different formats on them, and I'll show that in a moment. And finally, the unit is hackable, which means that, and I've already done this, and I'll just demonstrate in a moment, I've disabled the Macrovision, which means I can plug it right into my VCR. I've also disabled the region code checking, so I can play, say, an import anime DVD if I wanted to. And finally, I altered the default background image to be personalizable. So let's go ahead and switch to the unit itself. I'm going to bring that up right now. Craig will switch to the unit. It's in a screensaver mode right now, and that's what you're seeing right here. I'm going to push a button on the remote control, and it's going to come up. You can see I've customized the background with this really cool looking Star Trek Voyager background. This was actually gotten off of a website. A guy put together a ROM upgrade CD that you can just download. It makes it totally easy. You just pop the disc in, navigate using the built-in file browser to a directory, and it upgrades your ROM. It takes about 3 minutes, and it's done. And it was totally, all I had to do was run this disc, and it was that simple. So if you're weary about hacking these units, from personal experience, can tell you it's completely simple. Now I'm going to stick in a disc right now. This is a compilation disc that I put together of various formats. I'm going to eject the unit here and kick it in. There we go. And what you'll see when a disc comes up, it'll detect that it's a CDR, and it'll detect that there's certain media on the disc that it can play. So it brings up this kind of file menu here. And you might want to take me off there, Craig. And what we've got is a collection of JPEGs, MP3s, and MPEG files. Now I'm going to go into the settings menu here briefly and fix something real quick here so that I don't have a problem later on. Hold on a second. Okay, there we go. Now what I'll do is I can go ahead and just select this first image, and it's going to show the image. And like I can actually take and adjust the zoom by zooming in. I can also pan around like so. I can tune the zoom off and rotate the image like that. So it's got this built-in JPEG viewer, really cool. I can even push the menu button, and it'll bring up this photo CD gallery.
That is
lets
cool.
me navigate. Yeah, pretty cool.
Huh?
Basically lets me navigate all the images, select one. And let me show you the quality of the image here. It's really fantastic. This is a pretty high-res image right here. It always zooms it out so that it all fits on the screen, but let me zoom in a couple levels here. Whoops, I'm sorry. Oh, hold on just a second. I knew this would happen. I got to change something here real quick. I'm going to change it so it doesn't automatically go into a slideshow mode. So let me do that. Okay, I'll go back to this image here, and here we go. This image here is pretty good because it's really high resolution. Now I'll zoom in on this image a couple times, and you can really see just how good the quality is. Really, really great. All right. Having done that, let me go back out, and now I'm going to show you how it plays MP3s. Let me go back to the automated mode. It makes it a little easier to play MP3s. Oh, sorry. A little complicated to control this while I'm on TV, so cut me a little slack here. Okay, here we go. Now I'm going to go into the MP3s, which are scrolled down here. Here we go. One thing I love about this thing is that when you play an MP3, it just plays immediately. Like, I'll hit the next track. There's no load time. I mean, it's instantaneous. Just really, it sounds really good. So what you got is, not only you have a great DVD player, VCD player, all this other stuff, but it's great MP3 bootbox.
Do you have any MPEGs on that disc?
Absolutely.
Hooray!
So let's scroll down to some of the MPEGs I've got on here. Now these are just MPEG-1 and MPEG-2 files that I've thrown together, and I just threw them on the disk, and you can see it shows them there as saying VCD basically, but I select this. This is a video from the upcoming Beat Spikers for PS2 made by Sega. If I hit the next button, I'll just cut right to the next one.
GameCube.
This is Mario Sunshine, or a Japanese commercial. Looks really good. This is just MPEG-1 quality video right here.
Did you have to re-encode these to get them to play?
Yeah, they have to be in MPEG-1 or MPEG-2 format for them to play.
Will it play a generic MPEG-1 or MPEG-2, or do you have to be real specific about the type of
No, you just have to make sure that they're below a certain bit rate, and they'll work. But
then on the MP3s, it plays like any kind of MP3 from like 340K.
I haven't tried that yet. I have to experiment a little more. The ones that I had were 128 or so those are pretty generic. Lots of videos. Here's the opening to.
It's just playing these one after another.
Yeah. No, I'm actually selecting them. This is
but
the next.
Would it though?
Pardon?
Would it play one after another?
Yeah, I can set it to a mode where it'll just do random, and it'll play everything that's on the disc.
Pictures, MP3s.
Yes. Okay. Opening to MST3K. I encoded that. This is an SVCD quality, so you can tell it's a little better looking than some of the other videos on the disc.
MST3K Digital Archive Project.
That's right. And then we're going to show this in just a moment. This is the trailer to the new Star Trek movie. Let's get that. And then here's the. We showed this last week. Okay, so I'm going to stop there. That's basically everything. Fantastic VCD player. I highly recommend it. Again, there are 3 models that are worthwhile purchasing. There's the Apex AD 1100W, which is what I have. There's also the 1200 and the 1500, and all 3 of them, you can usually get them for around $70 at Walmart or online. So there you go. It's my new DVD player. Pretty cool. All right, coming up next is we're going to show you, cut right from that, we're going to go ahead and bring up the something we think is cool. We're all pretty much Star Trek fans. Craig and I are particularly, and Sean and Seth maybe a little bit. Looks like a really good new movie. It's the next Star Trek film. It's Star Trek Nemesis. Let's take a look.
In darkness, there is strength.
It seems as though we are truly sailing into the unknown.
I recommend extreme caution.
Fascinating.
The time we have dreamed of is at hand.
The mighty Federation will fall before us.
Do you think this is a wise course of action, sir?
We're about to find out, Data.
Pretty cool. There you go. Star Trek Nemesis. I think it comes out. You saw when it comes out there. It's an even-numbered Star Trek movie, which is a good sign. Usually the even-number ones are pretty good. What do you think?
I have never heard that before.
I think even coming from somebody that's not a dedicated Trekkie fan or, that really watches the series that much, Star Trek movies are still good science fiction movies. They still have a lot of good effects. This one looks like it might have a little bit more, I don't want to say adult-oriented content, but it looked like there was a love scene there, and that's something you don't see in a lot of Star Trek
that's true. The director of this particular movie has never directed a Star Trek before, and he's really trying to take it a little bit differently. And like you said, the love scene and a little bit more. So that's going to be pretty cool.
Yep.
All right, next up, we're going to talk about
Hooray!
Hooray! I know.
Yeah,
Craig and I are crazy about this phone. It's the new, of course, kyocera 7135. And, pardon?
That's right. That's right.
That's right. And coming out before the end of the year. We're told it's going to be out before Christmas. We've got a couple of screens we wanted to show you. We've acquired some high-res images of the phone. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. This is the bottom half of the phone. Of course, the phone's flipped open here. You can really see the level of quality they're really putting into this phone as far as the materials and so forth. And then, of course, Craig, let's cut to the next one. This is the screen. It is a 160 by 160 screen, we learned, but it is 60,000 colors, so it's going to look really good. I played some videos on our old phone, and they looked pretty good, and I can't imagine what they're going to look like on this. They should look
Are these the only 3 pictures we were going to have? We don't have like the extension or anything?
We don't have anything like that now, but there is a lot more information that we've gathered about this phone. In particular, we've found a video that talks about, this phone supports the new 3G 156K network, and Evansville's going to have that network really soon, if it doesn't already. And we're going to support that. And we found this video online, made by Qualcomm, I believe, that demonstrates the high-speed network access. And we're going to go ahead and show you that video now.
First of all, I'm going to explain the setup that we have. So right here we have a standard Windows 98 laptop, nothing special. Here we have a 1X trial handset connected with an RS-232 serial interface, a commercial interface here. And we're broadcasting over the air, and we're going to show some high-speed demos. The only wires coming into here are speakers, microphone, and a video feed to the big screen over here. We are connected. If you look on the screen here, you'll see that we are connected with service option 33, which is the high-speed service option for 1X. And we have 153 kilobits per second in both directions. So this is a simple speed test. This is where a graphic is downloaded over the air, and the transfer time is used to calculate the download time. And if you look at the results here, you'll see that our throughput was actually 135 kilobits per second. So very good. That's faster than ISDN, which is the bar below it. We're also going to do a packet video demonstration. This is a variable rate coding technology. So Packet Video is a partner of ours. And this basically detects the bandwidth available on the air link and adjusts the coding rate appropriately. Okay, so here we go with Gladiator. You'll notice in the lower left-hand corner, that's the coding rate on the video. So we have to maintain at least that rate to sustain this video.
Tell me your name. My name is Gladiator.
So what we've seen here is a good demonstration of the capabilities made available by high-speed simultaneous forward and reverse links, which is not currently available in any other technology.
Very cool stuff. That's a demo of the 3G network. We'll get that in Evansville, and if it costs more, I might be willing to just pay a little more for that, be able to have that sort of portable DSL access.
I got a question.
Sure.
Did we mention on the last show anything about this phone?
We mentioned a lot about this phone.
Okay, so we mentioned it played MP3s.
Oh, yeah.
We mentioned it was 65,000.
Is there any new information that we didn't share in the last show is really the question. Everyone knows that it plays MP3s, I think.
They changed the buttons a little bit to where the to-do and the memo buttons are going to be email and web. That's pretty well it, I think. I can't think of anything else.
Yeah, I can't.
I don't remember.
They're really making some additions to the phone. They've included a media player made by Roxio. I know that, which is really neat. So we'll be able to play.
Yeah, it's photos and movies at 30 frames per second.
That's right. So really neat stuff. All right, moving on. We're going to cut over to Sean now, and he's going to talk a little bit about some really new stuff coming out in the way of not only just Xbox mods, but now emulators are starting to appear. So let's take a look. Sean?
Okay, we got some stuff coming out for Xbox now. We're finally starting to see apps come out. Of course, you have to have your Xbox mod chip in place to be able to run these. The first thing we're going to show here is a video of an application called Evolution X. And what this is basically a hacker's tool for getting files to your hard drive on your Xbox. It's going to basically be a way to FTP from your PC onto your Xbox hard drive so you can run homebrew applications and things like that. It's very early in development, but they're making a lot of progress. Once again, with all these videos, you have to take them with a grain of salt. It could turn out to be fake, but it looks so far like this is going to really be an incredible application to run on your modified Xbox. So here's a video of that.
Does this have sound?
No, I don't believe it does
Okay.
have sound.
So we can
Feel free to talk over it.
Yeah, this you can see them booting up the Xbox, the application here from the Xbox. He's running it through his PC through a capture card, which is another one of the reasons why you have to question some of these videos sometimes if they are legit. But basically, this application, like I said, is somewhat of an FTP client and server, kind of a peer-to-peer type of FTP, so you can transfer files from your PC onto your Xbox hard drive, and it will be an easy way to transfer the applications instead of, most guys right now either having to burn them to DVD-R, compatible CDRWs that will work in your Xbox.
What's on the screen right now? What's he doing? I don't understand.
Now you're seeing it connect to the Xbox. You're seeing basically the Evolution X connection from the Xbox to the PC.
And now here's his PC's FTP program.
Right. This is the PC client-side version of Evolution X. He's going to upload files to his Xbox hard drive using that software that he just booted on his Xbox. So he's actually switching between both things on his PC, whereas normally they would have a dedicated television doing the monitoring. But he is going to upload an executable file to his Xbox. Basically, he's going to be uploading ROMs for Daedalus, the Nintendo 64 emulator that has been ported over. That is a whole other subject, but is up and running games right now and is making very, very good progress, as long as we can get it out there and see the process they've made on it.
So what he's about to do is he's about to place a file on the hard disk.
Yes, he's actually
on the Xbox.
He is actually going to upload to his Xbox. Everybody knows that the Xbox has broadband integrated with it out of the box. So he's actually plugged in, and he's going to FTP directly to his Xbox and transfer a file up to the hard drive.
Now, are we looking at right here? Are these the file structure of the hard drive right here?
That is what you were seeing there. The C through through the end letter there are the different partitions of your Xbox. So what you're looking at on the right-hand side is the actual directory structure of an Xbox. It's broken into multiple 2-gigabyte partitions that you can store the data to, and these guys are figuring out the directory structure and the tree views and stuff. So that's what you're seeing. You're still seeing the PC side of it. You're not seeing the actual Xbox side of it yet.
Now, I'm not totally up on Xbox hacking. Now, wasn't there a point early on where they couldn't even figure out how to actually read the data on the Xbox hard drive?
Yes, that's true.
How did they overcome that?
Well, so far, the guys that are working on Xbox Linux have written a what they call FATX driver that mounts the Xbox directory structure, the file system, and tries to read in the contents of the data. But they have been able to dump ISO images of the Xbox hard drive for quite a while and analyze them and see the headers of the files. So that's what they're doing. But with this kind of interaction through an FTP connection or interaction like they're doing here, they're just reading basically what the Xbox streams back to them. Basically, they have the app running on the Xbox that's grabbing the directory structure, the file system, and sending that information just like you would do a directory command in DOS.
They don't have to know. They don't have to know anything about how the file structure works with the FTP program. It's just it's talking to the operating system.
Exactly. And since it's TCP/IP, a connection like that back and forth, it doesn't really matter in the translation. It's just all it's all ones and zeros. It just spits back the text information and shows it on the screen. So.
That's awesome. And you can see here he's now actually. Looks like he's starting a connection. He's putting some files on there, and what you're really seeing is the log window of his FTP client spitting back, the results of the FTP server that he's running on the actual Xbox. And
you'll notice too that his Xbox, that is his local Xbox IP address, which before your Xbox didn't get that kind of IP address. And GameSpy and the software like that would allow you to play the games over the internet actually had to modify that local Xbox IP address to give it what you see there, a standard 192 type of address. So they're making a lot of progress with that, and it's going to be a very good development tool.
Well, that's really cool. Okay, we'll go ahead and stop the video there, but because it's pretty lengthy. But as you can see, apparently this gentleman has successfully FTP to his Xbox.
Definitely, and we'll look to see that. Of course, all these things still require your Xbox to be modified with a mod chip, put it into the box itself. Hopefully that's something I personally will be doing here very soon, and hopefully we'll have some kind of segment where we can run on that, and see this stuff running in person and in real life and make sure it is legit. But it's definitely going to be a very easy way to transfer things over.
Oh man, no doubt.
So. So next up, we're going to have a little bit more Xbox material here. This is actually a port of another emulator to the Xbox. One that's a little bit more obscure than what you've seen before. This is for the Atari Lynx handheld system. It was out quite a while back.
1990s.
Yeah, exactly. Got a little bit of a following to it. It was quite a big handheld for a portable. But they ported over a fairly good emulator to it that's already running games. Looks like it's got a pretty good interface. So we're going to boot up some video of that real quick and show you what that looks like.
Boot up the video.
Exactly. Boot it up.
Okay, here's the launching, because this one doesn't have sound either.
Right.
Here it is. You see him launching the game disc, or his disc, and then you can see the emulator starting to kick up here. Sean's a little curious about. He wonders if this is really true or not, and I have to agree with him. Some of the things look like this could be fake, but I'm more willing to believe it, I think.
Well, let's see if the users could post, or the watchers could post some comments about this after the show. See what you think about the background kind of shifting around while he's going through the menus and getting into the actual gameplay here. And tell us what you think about it, if this is a legitimate picture or not, or if you think it's doctored in some way. Because that's the bad thing about these early development releases like that. Guys just have a tendency to fake stuff like this and get everybody's hopes up. But you can see he's doing overlays there for the menu showing the Xbox controller and the button layout. As he's going through, just sometimes it looks like the frame rate up there in the top left-hand corner might just be a little crisp. Yeah,
it looks a little too superimposed.
Exactly.
But it could really just look that good. We just don't know.
Yeah, you have to give it the benefit of the doubt and hope that it really is.
It wouldn't be the first time there's been someone trying to pull off some sort of a hoax in this kind of, because I've seen it happen. People are pulling off hoaxes with the GameCube as well, as saying that they've hacked the GameCube.
Yeah, definitely. And that's a system that nobody thought would be hacked because of the small disk size. They thought it would be very, very hard to get anything out on that system. But we've seen guys with the tops off of the GameCube themselves, playing standard size CDR discs on them. And nobody thought that would really be done. So you can see him going through the ROM list, loading up games. Hopefully this is a legitimate thing. And like I said, once these start trickling out, we'll get in here and I'm going to modify my Xbox and get the mod chip in. We'll have some more hands-on. We'll have some more hands-on demos of this kind of stuff.
We definitely really hope that you mod your Xbox so that we just, if anything, just have it on the show.
Are you going to do the 56-wire mod, or are you going to do the 36-wire mod?
Well, they have a 29 and a 12-wire right now, and hopefully it's getting smaller and smaller. So right now I'm looking at the 12-wire, but these guys have already been getting kicked around by Microsoft, and a lot of them are getting shut down. Enigma was already shut down for a while. So we don't know who's going to be out there by the time I do it, but hopefully in the next month or so I'll get one and grab my soldering iron and crack it open, and who cares if the warranty's out the window, but we'll just have to see what happens, because I want to play MAME on my Xbox.
Yeah, I think that was one of the things you wanted to do even before you owned the Xbox, to play MAME on the Xbox.
Definitely.
Okay, well, we're running pretty... How are we doing on time?
We got about 5 minutes.
5 minutes? Okay, well, that's just enough time for me to run down what I want to call a little bit of extra news. Some little news tidbits that we've found on the net. First up is OS X users out there, Mac OS X users, you'll be happy to know that SereneScreens.com, it has ported that really great, it was originally not OpenGL, but what's the other one?
DirectX.
DirectX, that really great DirectX screensaver called Aquarium, where the fish are all rendered in 3D and they move around and it looks photorealistic. Well, that now has been ported to OS X in OpenGL. It's available from SereneScreens.com. You can download it there. They have a demo that you can try out. It's limited to 3 fish, and you have to enter a keyword every time you use it. But here's the great thing. Because it's in beta, the first 1,000 people to register the app only have to pay $12.95, which is half the price of the Windows version. And believe me, when you see this thing, I think you'll realize that it's really worth the money. It's only $12, and it's a fantastic screensaver. It really is. It's a real eye-catcher.
Now, I have to say here, because you'll be able to appreciate this too, when you're at the website for the screensaver, For all you hardcore people out there that have been around and seen the Amiga and systems like that, check out the link that is about the author. He's been around for quite a while. He did some graphics for the Amiga. He wrote some games that you will know, and he also did some stuff for, I believe, what was it, FM Towns, the system that was out for a while.
Oh yeah,
he wrote
the Marty FM Towns.
Right, he did some BIOS software for that, and has done a lot of games. He's been around for quite a while and is a very established programmer. So this guy really knows his stuff.
Yeah. So definitely check that out. And I was always kind of hoping they'd port that, and they did. So that's a great thing. Next up, I wanted to talk briefly. Sega has made an announcement, and on the 14th or the 15th, I think, at some video game expo in Japan. It's a small one. Sega is going to debut new Sonic titles for the GameCube, and in particular, they've said openly that they're releasing, one of them is a Sonic Mega Collection. Now, there's some rumors about what's included in the Mega Collection, but some information might be true, and that is that it's going to be every original Kart Sonic game, including Sonic CD, Sonic R, and Sonic Shuffle, I think was the other one. And they're saying that those, and here's the message form about it on our website, the message thread about it. But the information is sketchy about what's really on the Mega Collection, but if anything, if Sonic CD's on there, it's going to totally make my day, because that is the greatest. That's the greatest 2D platformer ever. And Sonic CD, to play that on my GameCube, oh, I'm going to be dying. That's going to be awesome. And then the other game that they've also confirmed is going to be available is going to be the original Sonic Adventure for the Dreamcast. They're going to port that to GameCube and hopefully do a little bit of graphic touch-up on that. I'm a huge Sonic Adventure 1 fan. I wrote a huge fact on it. It was very popular on the net, and it's still popular today. I get email all the time about it. So to be able to play Sonic Adventure 1, you know, maybe I've played it a million times, but I'll probably still play it on the GameCube. If I don't buy it, I'll at least rent it a few times.
Definitely.
I think that's all we've got. How are we doing on time?
That's about it.
Okay, well, great.
Hang on a second.
We want to thank Sean for coming by and helping us do the show, and you're going to be seeing a lot more of him once he's got his he's all moved into his new house. You'll probably see a lot more of him.
Yeah, he's moved there.
And we're going to definitely try to be back. If not next week, we'll be back the week afterwards. So be sure to tune in, ActionCorp TV at actioncorp.net. My name is Chris, and this is Sean and Craig in the booth.